In the heart of South India, a legend was born, a man whose name would echo through the halls of history as the Tiger of Mysore. This is the story of Tipu Sultan, a visionary ruler, a fierce warrior, and a symbol of resistance against colonial rule. Born in 1750, Tipu Sultan inherited the throne of the Kingdom of Mysore from his father, Hyder Ali. But he was more than just a ruler. He was a scholar, a poet, and an innovator. From a young age, he was trained in military tactics, administration, and diplomacy, preparing him for the challenges that lay ahead. When he ascended to the throne in 1782, Mysore was a prosperous kingdom, but it was also surrounded by enemies, most notably the British East India Company, which was rapidly expanding its influence across the subcontinent. Tipu Sultan recognized the British threat long before many of his contemporaries. He saw them not as mere traders, but as ambitious colonizers aiming to subjugate India. He famously said, "I would rather live a day as a tiger than a lifetime as a sheep." This quote perfectly encapsulates his spirit of defiance and his unwavering commitment to freedom. He dedicated his reign to modernizing his kingdom and strengthening his military to counter the British threat. One of Tipu's most significant contributions was his military innovation. He was a pioneer in the use of rocketry. While rockets had been used in India before, Tipu and his father developed them into a formidable weapon. The Mysorean rockets were iron-cased and had a much longer range and greater destructive power than anything the British had ever faced. These rockets caused panic and disarray among the British forces during the Anglo-Mysore Wars. In fact, the technology was so effective that captured Mysorean rockets were studied by the British and directly influenced the development of the Congreve rocket, which was later used in the Napoleonic Wars. Beyond his military genius, Tipu Sultan was a forward-thinking administrator. He introduced a new land revenue system that benefited the farmers and increased the state's income. He also introduced a new calendar and a new system of coinage. His economic policies were designed to make Mysore self-sufficient. He established state-run workshops to manufacture goods like silk, sugar, and even high-quality steel. He understood the importance of trade and sent diplomatic missions to places like France, the Ottoman Empire, and Afghanistan, seeking alliances against the British and fostering commercial relationships. He was truly a global thinker in an age of expanding empires. Tipu's court was a vibrant center of culture and learning. He was a patron of the arts and sciences, and his personal library was said to contain thousands of books on a wide range of subjects, from religion and philosophy to mathematics and astronomy. He was multilingual, fluent in Kannada, Persian, and several other languages. His curiosity was boundless, and he was always eager to learn about new technologies and ideas from around the world. He even had a fascination with mechanical toys, the most famous of which is Tipu's Tiger, a life-sized automaton depicting a tiger mauling a European soldier, which is now on display at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. This object is a powerful symbol of his fierce opposition to British colonialism. However, Tipu Sultan's reign was dominated by conflict. He fought 4 major wars against the British, known as the Anglo-Mysore Wars. He achieved significant victories, particularly in the Second Anglo-Mysore War, where he inflicted a humiliating defeat on the British at the Battle of Polalur. The British saw him as their most formidable adversary in India, a relentless and cunning enemy who stood in the way of their imperial ambitions. They launched extensive propaganda campaigns to demonize him, painting him as a cruel tyrant. While his resistance against the British is celebrated, his legacy is also complex. Some historical accounts mention his harsh treatment of certain communities during his military campaigns, particularly in Coorg and Malabar. These actions have been a subject of debate among historians. It's important to view these events within the context of 18th century warfare, where such actions were, unfortunately, common on all sides. However, it's also true that in his own kingdom of Mysore he was known for his religious tolerance. He gave grants to Hindu temples and respected the religious practices of his subjects. The head priest of the Sringeri Sharada Peetham, a major Hindu monastery, even referred to him as a protector of their faith after Tipu helped rebuild the temple following a raid by Maratha horsemen. The end for Tipu Sultan came in 1799, during the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. The British, allied with the Nizam of Hyderabad and the Marathas, laid siege to his capital, Srirangapatna. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Tipu refused to surrender. He chose to fight to the death, defending his city and his freedom. On May 4, 1799, during the final assault on the fortress, Tipu Sultan was killed. He was found among a pile of his fallen soldiers, having fought bravely until his last breath. With his death, the last major obstacle to British domination in South India was removed. His kingdom was dismantled, and his treasures were plundered, but the legend of the Tiger of Mysore did not die. Tipu Sultan became a powerful symbol of resistance, an icon of anti-colonial struggle whose story inspired future generations of freedom fighters in India. He was a ruler who dared to challenge the might of the British Empire, a visionary who fought for the sovereignty of his land. Today, Tipu Sultan remains a celebrated yet controversial figure. But his contributions to military technology, his administrative reforms, and his unwavering spirit of defiance cannot be denied. He was a man ahead of his time, a ruler who understood the changing world and fought to carve out an independent destiny for his people. The Tiger of Mysore may have fallen, but his roar continues to echo through the pages of history, reminding us of the timeless struggle for freedom and self-determination. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life of Tipu Sultan. If you found this documentary insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories from history. We'll see you in the next one.